like, oh, Lord, Josh, did you need to take some Pepto-Bismol? Like, what you need? You need a Tums? Some Sprite, some Canada Dry, something. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Brandy Yvonne channel. Of course, I'm your girl, Brandy Yvonne. Here at my channel, we do fun reviews, recaps, and discussions of all of our favorite shows. We are talking Owns, Family, or Fiancé tonight, y'all. This is season 3, episode 10. It's about Tiffany and Josh, Till Death Do Us Part. So, Family or Fiancé is back, y'all. First of all, didn't nobody tell me, where's the promotion for Family or Fiancé? We need the show to stay on. We need some promotion. Anyway, so now they're doing this new thing called the marriage edition of Family or Fiancé. So basically, we still have our two couples, but they're already married, and they're coming on the show pending a divorce. They're thinking about getting a divorce, and they're basically trying to figure out if they want to stay together. So Tracy's going to help them work it through it in these 3 days to see if they still get a divorce or stay together. They're not doing a blessing ceremony, of course, but they still do bring 3 family members on the show. So basically same premise, except the couple's already married and they're on the brink of divorce, okay? Y'all, before we get into anything, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, please, y'all. Also, don't forget to subscribe, support this channel. Don't forget to comment and share. We're still doing our holiday gift sharing ideas, so if you have any, please drop them in the comments below if you have any good Christmas shopping hacks, like certain websites you like to use, or discounts, or cool gift giving ideas or tips or tricks or anything like that. Drop it in the comments so we can share over here. Also, I did put up my Love and Marriage Huntsville video tonight. You'll probably get the Family or Fiancé Sunday, y'all. So y'all probably might be watching it Sunday. Anyway, don't forget to check the Love and Marriage Huntsville video out if you are a fan of that show, or you just want to catch up and know what's going on over there without watching the episode. Anyway, so like I said, we had Tiffany and Josh. They met in, I think, like 2014 in LA or something. She was walking by. He was coming out the barbershop. He was like, it was love at first sight for him. Most beautiful girl in the world. They got married in either 2016 or 2017 in Vegas. They had a little quick Vegas wedding. I never said how old they are. If y'all know how old Tiffany and Josh were, drop it in the comments. So, Josh basically has shut down. He's changed. Tiffany can't get him to do anything. He just want to sit in the garage and play video games and smoke his weed and drink and do all this stuff. She not really doing nothing. She feel like she got to hold it down. He ain't doing nothing. So, Dr. Tracy explains, normally they come on the show getting a family blessing, but this is not the case. This is trying to save a marriage. Okay. Tiffany is the one that brought the divorce papers. She's ready to sign them papers. Josh is not. So basically the main things that happened in their marriage is that I think in 2016 or 2017 they had a baby named Legacy, and Legacy died as a baby. She had the baby at 7 months, and the baby was born without any kidneys, and so the baby died. They said just nothing they could do for the baby, just wait for it to die. Oh, that was so heartbreaking. So heartbreaking. First of all, I didn't even know a baby could be born with no kidneys. Like, that's crazy. And so that really, took emotionally toll on both of them, especially Josh. And then 3 weeks later, Josh lost his mom. Josh was like his foundation. He said he would talk to his mom every day on the way to work. And so when his mom died on Mother's Day at that, he just kind of fell apart. Now, mind you, as they're driving up to the house, Josh is sick. He got the hiccups, his stomach hurt. He got the bubble guts. They finally get in the house. He need to lay down on the sofa. He need to get it together. So anyway, Tracy tossed, when Tracy's even talking to them, he's just sitting on the sofa. He can't even sit up. Tiffany's like, come on, sit up, be here, be present, come on. He can't even do it because he's just not feeling well. Like, you could tell he's sweating. He got the BGs. He done. So anyway, Tracy was telling Tiffany that she can't do the normal thing she does, because she just kept being on her. Come on, you need to be here. You need to be present. You need to do this. You need that. And she was like, no, you can't. All that stuff you used to do, you need to stop. And so she just feels like Tiffany feels like she puts in 100% to the relationship. and she feels like he doesn't put anything in, he doesn't put any effort in, he doesn't give. She just feels like she's doing all the giving, all the work, and all that, which, you know, we can all relate to that kind of feeling in relationships. And so she feels like he's a totally different person now, like he's completely checked out of the relationship. Tracy was saying, you know, she can't just want him to change, like he has to want it for himself. Like, you can want him to do better. She was like, of course, you know, that's not she's like, oh, I don't know, I think Tracy's being sarcastic, but she's saying, oh, that's not selfish, I need you to do better so you can give to me. And she's like, well, no, I do want him to do better for himself. But Tracy said, he has to want it for himself. She was like, it's hard to say, oh, I want to do better, I got to work on doing better, but it's easier to say, oh, she wants me to be better. So she's saying, you got to let him fight, like, and then, you know, she's trying to make him sit up. She's like, no, let him be sloppy, let him be a mess, let him face the man in the mirror, let him be a mess and deal with himself. Stop. Tracy told her, stop jumping in the ring with him to fight him, let him fight himself, which was a good analogy, right? And so from his side, we have his sister, I can't remember her name, his daughter Maya, and his brother Aaron. From her side, we have her 2 older daughters and her mom. I can't remember their names either, sorry. Now, mind you, after the baby died, they did have 2 more babies, a 1-year-old and a 2-year-old. And she said she also has a 14-year-old, I believe, and an 18-year-old and a 23-year-old. Now, I'm thinking Tiffany is young, like 20s or 30s. She told me when she said she had a 23-year-old, I was very, very shocked. And an 18-year-old, like, wow, like, she looks really good. So, I'm like, when she had him? So anyway, and then Josh already had the 14-year-old Maya. So he hadn't seen Maya in a long time. So this is also a little father-daughter healing we'll be doing in this episode as well. So Dr. Tracy explains to them the process. You know, Tiffany's going to cook a meal with his side of the family and explain the changes that's happened in the relationship. Josh is going to do a game with her side of the family called, you know, like a timeline, basically laying out the timeline of their whole relationship. Y'all know they do the same game, call it different names. Anyway, same concept of the whole show. Y'all know how it go. So then the families come. Josh got to lay down on the sofa, y'all, because he can't pull it together. Her mama come. They see she crying. Her daughters and the mom, they're like, what's wrong? She's like, Belle, because, you know, it's just been a lot. And Dr. Tracy basically said he got a mental illness and he's just been having a mental breakdown this whole time we've been here. So then the mom's like, let me go talk to him. So she went to sit on the sofa. She's like, Josh, sit up, Josh, sit up. And then she's like, what's wrong? He's like, oh, I just don't feel good. My stomach hurt. She was like, you need to come on. You need to get together. You need to pull together. You need to suck it up. Like, I didn't come all this way for you to be laying up here sick. Like, come on, get it together. He couldn't even show nobody around the house. His people came. He, like, tried to show them upstairs. Then he laid down on the bed. He couldn't even finish that tour. I'm like, oh, Lord, Josh, did you need to take some Pepto-Bismol? Like, what you need? You need a Tums? Some Sprite, some Canada Dry, something. Anyway, y'all. So they get down to the blessing ceremony. They explain, you know, the premise of what they're going to be doing. I think at that point they did say Tiffany had the papers. She's the one that came with the papers to sign for the divorce. And they don't want to be a statistic, so, you know, they need to try to fix this. The family goes around just like typical family or fiancé style and says all their grievances with everybody. You know, a lot of it was communication. A lot of it was, you know, Josh needs to step up. You know, them being there for each other, blah, blah, blah. So everybody basically it was a common theme of what they needed to do. And, you know, the one girl, I think it was the sister, said, y'all keep saying y'all working on this and doing this, but you're not doing it. We need you to do it. So then they went to play the games. And so over on Tiffany's side, she's just explaining how, you know, Josh really changed after the baby died. Like, that really, really changed him. And then when his mom died, that changed him. And even the, you know, the other 2 kids being born changed him as well. And so his sister was saying, yeah, it's like he's stuck and he just can't get unstuck. And she was like, if those divorce papers aren't a wake-up call, she don't know what is. And so over on Josh's side, he's explaining, you know, how he first met her and how he just loved what he saw. And they got married. Then he talked about the baby, and he said how the baby, it was really, really hard for him. I don't know if it was, oh, that scene he said, later on he was talking about exactly what happened. But anyway, this scene he was saying how, nobody should have to bury their child before they could even walk. Like, losing that just broke his heart, losing that baby. That broke his heart. And that's to be expected. Like, I don't blame him. The mother-in-law was like, yeah, it was hard. And then he talked about losing his mom, and he feel like he just ain't never came back from that. And the mom was like, yeah, you have it. Like, she kept making comments. She was irritating me a little bit, y'all. Anyway, he was just explaining how, like, when they first met, the girls, her daughters really took him in, and they became a family, and he wants to get back to that. They asked him what he would do if the divorce did happen. He said, I would just try to move, stay close to y'all if I could, because I want to still be there and be a support. So I don't think, Josh doesn't want a divorce. He already said that. He just is stuck. He's just definitely going through a mental health situation. He is stuck, and it's really, really sad, and I hope he really gets all the help he needs. So anyway, y'all, sorry, side note, I just seen the leaf to one of my poinsettias and fell on the table. I've been doing my best job to take care of these poinsettias. Anyway, back to the show. Sorry, I got distracted by that. So then, they making brunch, y'all. Finally, on Family and Fiancé, we ain't got to do a spaghetti dinner the first night. We started out with brunch. I like to change up. So they made brunch. They had grits. Somebody was complaining about they don't like creamy grits. They like their grits to be gritty like the grits. I personally prefer a creamier grit, but that's just me. Texture thing, y'all know. So they're talking about the task, and they were saying how Josh said that if they broke up, he would move close to them and move across the street and all that, and so because he wants to still be there for the family and all that. And so Tiffany said that's good, that's important. And so they talked about the situation with Maya, because in Tiffany's task, she was talking to Maya about how Maya didn't come visit anymore, and Maya felt like her dad didn't really like her. It was really hard for her. I guess she said she met her dad when she was like 8 or 9 years old, and it was hard to like try to connect with him because she didn't really know him. And so Tiffany was telling her during the task, like, that was not your dad's decision. Like, he wanted to see you, he fought for you, and all this stuff, and you would always come around. That would bring him joy. Then you stopped coming, and then he would be mad at me, and that caused a problem. And so at the table for brunch, they were talking about it more. And so he was saying, like, I missed you. You stopped calling. I feel like you only called me when you wanted something. And she was trying to explain how she felt, and then he was saying, when your brother Legacy died, you didn't call me. When this happened, you didn't call, and you didn't come. And then Tiffany was saying, like, yeah, you brought joy to him when you would come, and that then, made him happy, and he would be nice to me and all that stuff. And then when you stopped coming, he would be mad, and then he would take it out on me and be mad and said I shouldn't even got involved. And so they literally are blaming Tiffany. Tiffany's blaming Maya. Tiffany was saying basically you caused the problem, that you were causing the problem in our marriage. She literally said to that little girl, 14-year-old girl Maya, you caused a problem in our marriage. And I'm like, Tiffany, can't no kid cause a problem in your marriage. Like Dr. Tracy said, they can activate the problem, they can't cause it. I was like, no. And I'm glad Tracy cleaned it up for them and helped them realize. No, you cannot blame a kid. First of all, how dare you be mad at a kid for not making a call when a baby died, when the kid is like 9 years old? Like, no, that's crazy. Like, the amount of pressure and responsibility they were putting on poor Maya for their marriage, that was like horrible to me. But they did realize the error of their ways in that moment, and I was glad. I was like, no, you cannot put all that responsibility on that little girl. And I feel like, and y'all let me know if y'all agree with this in the comments. Sometimes, especially, I don't even want to say especially our communities, but it could be a lot of family dynamics. I feel like sometimes kids get blamed and put a lot of responsibility on for things that are adult issues, and that is really not their problem, or not something they caused, but they get the blame for it. I definitely saw that in my family growing up. Let me know if y'all can share a similar experience or not down in the comments. So then the next day, we do see Tracy meets with the couple again, and they talk about the task. And so Tiffany does begin to explain how Maya was hurt from not seeing her dad. And so Dr. Tracy kind of like helped her see like, I think Tiffany used the word abandoned. Tracy said she's just hurt, and that's what she's saying. And so Tracy was like, also, you said that she caused the problem. She did not cause a problem in your marriage. She activated a problem. She said kids can't cause a problem. They can only activate a problem. And she was like, you said, you blamed her for the issues in your marriage. And so Tiffany was like, yes, I should not have said that. Like, I apologize, which I'm glad Tiffany said. And so then Josh was talking about how, yeah, she didn't even call when the baby died, all this stuff. Tracy's like, she was 9 years old. Like, what are you expecting? She was like, are you saying that a kid, should be responsible for this and that, have all this responsibility? She's like, like, are you saying a kid should be making that decision? And he's okay, I see what you're saying. And so Tracy basically was helping them see that, like, you cannot put all that on a kid, right? And so she was like, the minute when you begin to make, kids responsible that way, you're creating, a pattern of family trauma, basically, and dysfunction. So, like, let's stop that right here. So Tracy, thankfully, thank God, nipped all that mess in the bud, because you cannot do that. Also, I guess Tiffany was trying to explain that the reason why she was saying that about Maya is because she is the one that started investigating the whole situation with Maya and Maya's mom, I guess, and that, getting the lawyers involved so that he could see Maya more. And then for Maya not to come, so then she's like, dang, like, now he's resenting me, I'm resenting him. And so then, I guess Tiffany thought because Tracy's like, well, now you're mad at him. And so then she was like, no, I don't resent Maya. I love her. I love her like my daughter. Like, she started saying all this stuff. And so then Dr. Tracy's even like, no, I said him. Like, that was definitely, like, Tiffany felt guilty about something. So then Dr. Tracy's like, see, you're mad. You are mad about something. She was like, yeah, because I feel like I'm the one that went through all this stuff to, get her here, and I wanted her here with us, and I wanted to be her mom, and I want to do this. Like, I love her. I wanted her here. And so Tracy's like, you got to get reality of the situation. Like, she lives in another state. She has a mom there. So what you guys need to work on is making sure she feels loved where she's at. And that's all you can do. And so I'm glad Tracy really helped them work through and see things. And so Tracy talked about the trauma they went through, and Josh did begin to cry because he said it so much. He felt like he had to be strong when the baby died for Tiffany. Then he had to be strong for his siblings when his mom died, and he just had to keep being strong. And he never could, deal with his own pain and everything he went through, like losing a child and everything. So he just began to break down and cry. So then Tiffany was like, no, don't cry. And Tracy's like telling, Josh this is a safe space. And she was like, let him break down. He needs this. He needs to do this. Like, he finally needs to do this. Like, let him do it. And so Tracy recommended they talk to, I believe it was Dr. Black, who was a psychologist and family therapist. And so they went outside to talk to her. And so they asked, how things were going for them and everything that was going on. So Josh began to explain how when the baby died, he had the baby in his arms, and he's holding the baby when the baby took his last breath, and he looked up at him and he's holding his finger. That visual was so sad to me, y'all. I was fighting back the tears again. And so even Tiffany is sitting there fighting back tears. And, Josh, I guess sometimes feels like and then dealing with the death of his mom after that, it's just really hard. And sometimes he wants the pain to go away so bad. He's like, maybe I should just go be with my mom. And so then Tiffany's like, sounds like you want to off yourself when you're saying that. And he's like, no, I don't want to, do that to myself. And then she's like, well, that's what it sounds like. And so the doctor was like, okay, let's put another name to that, because it sounds like you're not saying you don't want to deal with the pain, but it's not like you don't want to off yourself. You just don't want to deal with the pain anymore. And so she said that he has depression. So Tiffany was just crying. She started having a hard time breathing. I think anxiety kicked in for her as well. I think she's been holding in a lot as well. And she just deals with it differently than Josh does. She's just like, I gotta keep going, gotta keep going, gotta keep going, and keep it together, keep it together. And he just has broken down. He's past that keep it together point. He has broken down. And so she was like, I need to breathe. Producers made like she was really struggling to breathe. I would love to know if Tiffany was, having anxiety or panic attack at that moment. I'm glad that, they were able to talk with the psychologist and work through those issues at the moment, though, because those kind of issues do affect your physical health and your body and your breathing and everything. It really does. So I'm glad they got professional help in that moment. Anyway, they were talking about, there's the trauma they went through, and the doctor was saying, you guys have, need to begin the healing. You need to stop and deal with it. And so Tiffany said, she just feel like she can't stop and, let go and cry and all that, because she has to go, keep it together. Like, she has clients. If she makes one mistake, that's it. It can ruin everything. She don't want to go back to the hood where they came from. If she makes one mistake, she can't. And so the doctor's like, no, you don't have to stop anything, but you do need to take time, maybe seek counseling, do all this stuff. And so I was like, oh man, poor Tiffany. She just feels like she has to keep it together to keep the family with what they need. And Josh is over here breaking down. It was a lot. It was a very, very, very heavy episode for me, y'all. So the doctor said, we're gonna have to work on some counseling together as a married couple and individual therapy as well. And she's like, asking them what are 3 things they could do moving forward. And so they agree to communicate more. She wants Josh to stop shutting down. And I think they said they're going to seek counseling as well. I can't remember the third thing. Anyway, they go meet with Tracy. Well, first, we do see Josh go talk to Maya, and he said, we said some things at the table about you being some of the causes of issues in our marriage, and that wasn't right. And he was letting her know, I love you. And she said, okay, now, I can let the grudge go. And they're going to move forward into healing and being there more. So anyway, and try to see each other more. So then Tracy goes to speak with them again in the office the final day and figure out where they're at. And so they talked about the healing work they did with the therapist, and Tiffany makes some good revelations, how she didn't know Josh was depressed and, everything that was really going on with him. And she was like, it made sense. And she did apologize for threatening to divorce on him, because for him, divorce feels like another grief and loss. And she knows that feels like she wouldn't want to do that to him. And so, Tracy said she did really good work. And so Josh began to explain, his revelations, the things he saw and what he's going to work on. He said he's going to get therapy. And then Tiffany interrupted him, and she's like, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. And then Tracy said, see that thing you did right there? You got to get out the ring with him. You got to let him do his own thing. He couldn't see before. It's like his vision was interrupted. It was unclear. But, Dr. Black helped him be able to see now. But if you keep getting in the way, you're going to make it hard. You need to step out the way. And Tracy explained, she sees a lot of couples who get divorced have went through this. They have something to work on, but it doesn't work, because she was like, Tiffany's going to be this kind of person, okay, we'll see in time, because Tracy was asking them, okay, do we see you guys still being able to work this out? Josh still wants to work it out. She was like, yeah, I just need to see change, though. And so then that's when Tracy was saying, you're a person about the time, and that's not going to help fix this. You got to give him space and time. It's going to take time. You can't expect him to change overnight. You got to give him the space to be able to do it. You can't, interrupt it. You can't do that. And Josh has to also do his part, and things are going to be hard for him. He's got to recognize those things. And she told Tiffany, when she starts, having those feelings come up, when she feels like he's not doing anything, then that's when she needs to talk to her therapist. And so I feel like Tracy gave them great tools. They went back and had not the blessing ceremony, but talked to the family. They ripped up the divorce papers. The family all supported so they do have to get this family, see if they support the decision to go through the divorce or not go through with the divorce. in this case, they are going through with the divorce. So, and all the family supported them. Same style as Family or Fiancé, kind of the same. I seen y'all do the work in the 3 days, and it's good for me. So anyway, they all hugged it out. Dr. Tracy came out and said they really did good work, and they did. I feel like they really did. In the end scenes, we see where they give us updates that Josh and Tiffany are doing a lot better. Their communication is doing better. They're spending more time together, doing date nights. They're also Josh is also seeking a therapist, and Maya is reaching out more. They're communicating with Maya more, and she's finding more time to visit. So overall, everything worked out well. Tiffany and Josh, I hope you guys continue to do well in your marriage. If you ever want to come and give us more insight about everything that happened as far as the show and your marriage, you're welcome to come on the Brandy Yvonne channel. Please don't hesitate to reach out. Anyway, y'all, I thought it was a pretty good episode. We're going to keep track with Family or Fiancé. I'm glad the season picked back up because I do like the show. It gives us a little Yana fix, even though it's not the same. Anyway, y'all, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and I will talk to y'all soon. Bye.